Hi students, in this video we are going to see about the analysis method, the continuation of the previous one. In this video we are going to see more in detail about conjoint analysis, multidimensional scaling and multiple regression and correlation. First we see the conjoint analysis. So this conjoint analysis, it is the survey based statistical technique used in the market research that helps determine how people value different attributes. So how people take up the different values and attributes like functions, benefits, and they make up an individual product or service. So this conjoint analysis is a technique developed since 1970s. So it's one of the oldest technique, and there are various number of thousands of conjoint analysis studies are conducted each and every year over internet, mobiles, and through person interviews. So this organization use conjoint analysis to make a better pricing decision and also to design new products, line extensions, reposition products, and save on research and development costs. For these purpose, they use the conjoint analysis. And this conjoint analysis is concerned with the understanding of the people's choice. So how they make choices between the products or services, or either combination of product or services, so that the businesses can design a new product or services in order to meet the customers needs exactly. So for that reason this conjoint study is being made. So it is consists of generating and conducting specific experiments. So they are going to conduct specific experiments through this conjoint study among the customers. So find out with the purpose of modeling their purchasing decision. So what is the perception or what is the choice of the customer in choosing a particular product or a service, and what is the major purchasing decision where a customer take for to identify that, this conjoint study is being made. So here we are going to say about the conjoint or discrete choice analysis. Here is an example of the market for cellular telephone plans. So there are various plans which is being given by cellular companies or telephone companies. So this example is an illustrative conjoint question that respondents would see, as well as illustrative modeling scenarios. So the respondent survey example questions are assuming that study participants are asked to trade off, balance the features and pricing of various cell phone plans. So what are the features and pricing of the various plans given by the telecommunication company? Or then typical conjoint questions asked for respondents might look like the following. So the following as respondents are asked a series of these questions where they must trade off the features and pricing of various plans. So they have to trade off the features of the cell phone plans and pricing of the various plans, and to select the offering they most prefer. So which one is the most preferable plan which they opt. So the pattern of responses is analyzed for each respondent in order to determine the underlying value system of this. So this is the example of the plan. Which of the following cell phone plans do you prefer? So here they have given the minutes and what is the rollover for 1 month period, or unused minutes, or for the one year period, and for a new phone every year, or new phone every 2 years, or no new phones, and nights and weekends monthly minutes it's been given, and the total cost of that. So from this the customers choose which of the plan is being more preferable here. And this is the another example of the choice based conjoint or CBC, they say. Here it is. So as they see in the examples above, where the respondents are shown multiple product concepts at a time and asked which option they would choose. So here they have given, if these were only choices for vacation packages, which would you choose, or would you choose to not go on vacation. So here they have given the various destinations like San Francisco, Washington DC, and Las Vegas. So the number of nights spent and accommodation facilities, hotel type, car rentals, and price per person. So based upon this, which vacation packages a person chooses, or if he is not going for a vacation. So none is given here. I would not go to the vacation rather than choosing any of these items. So this is the popular technique, and which is the best example of a tourism which is being given. The next analysis is an interesting one where this is dealing about the correlation. So this method of correlation regression is being used in order to analyze the extent and the nature of relationship between the different variables. So here this correlation analysis, it is one of the statistical method which is used to evaluate the strength of relationship between two quantitative variables. They take two quantitative variables like x and y, and with the strength of relationship between x and y. For example, they take x and y. So the strength of relationship between that x and y variable is being defined here. So here a correlation analysis is used to understand the nature of relationship between the variables. So here I have given the example. If we aim to study the impact of foreign direct investment, that is FDI, on the level of economic growth in Vietnam, so then two variables can be specified as the amounts of FDI and GDP of for the period. So this is the formula of the correlation analysis given here. So the correlation coefficient is denoted as R, which is calculated through the following formula. So where the x and y are the variables of that, and n is given here n. So that is the size of the sample which is given. So this correlation analysis, where how they interpret. So this is how they interpret. So the value of the correlation coefficient can be interpreted in the following manner. When first case, if R is equal to 1, then there is a perfect positive correlation. They say as a positive correlation or negative correlation or no correlation. These are the three types where which relies. So if it is equal to 1, then there is a perfect positive correlation between the variables x and y. And if R is equal to minus 1, if it is denoted as minus negative form, then it is a perfect negative correlation between the two values given. And if the R is equal to 0, then there is no correlation between the x and the y, that is the two values. So in this practical terms which we chosen as an example, the closer the value of R to 1, the higher positive impact between FDI on GDP growth in Vietnam. Similarly, if the value of R is less than 0, the closer it is to minus 1, then the greater the negative impact of the FDI and GDP growth in the Vietnam. And if it is equal to 0, then the FDI is perceived to have no impact. There is no such impact on GDP change in Vietnam with the given example. Okay. Next we'll move on to the multiple regression analysis. So this analysis is it's one of the most powerful technique. So here it is used to predict the unknown value of a variable from the known value of two or more variables. There is unknown value of variable and the known value of two or more variables. These two more variables is being said as the predictors. So more precisely, this multiple regression analysis helps to predict the value of y for the given values of like x1, x2 and xk. So here I have taken the example of the yield of rice per acre. So depending upon the quality of the seed and fertility of soil, fertilizer use, temperature and rainfall. So these are the variables. If one is interested to study the joint effect of all these variables of rice yield, so how this rice yielding is being depended upon the quality of seed, fertility of soil or fertilizers used or temperature or rainfall. So there is an additional advantage of this technique. It is used as to enable us to study the individual influence of these variables on yield. So what is the yield is one of the variable, and you are going to find out what are the factors which influence these. So these are the factors which influence. Okay. We'll see the formula and example of that. So the general purpose of the multiple regression was being used by Pearson in the year 1908. So in order to learn more about the relationship between the several independent or predictor variables and a dependent or criterion variable. So the multiple regression model is being here. So in general, the multiple regression equation of y, x1, x2 and xk is given by y is equal to b0 plus b1 into x1 plus b2 into x2 plus then bk to x2. So in here for this example, we could use multiple regression to understand another example of an exam performance can be predicted based on the revision. So how much time of revision is being given to the student, and test anxiety, lecture attendance and gender. So alternatively, you can use this multiple regression to understand whether daily cigarette consumption can be predicted based on the smoking duration, age when started smoking, smokers type, income and gender. So this is how you can find out the with the use of multiple regression model. So the next topic is about multi-dimensional scaling. So it means, or it is the MDS is a means of visualizing the level of similarity of individual cases of a data set. So here MDS is a statistical technique that allows the researcher to find out and explore underlying themes or dimensions in order to explain similarities or dissimilarities. So what is the distance between that? What is most similar between them and what is most dissimilar between the investigated data sets? So here plotting these data sets on the multidimensional scale allows for easier interpretation and comparison. So it is a diagrammatic representation where you can easily interpret and compare and find out the comparison by the linear data set permits. So in market research, the multidimensional scaling is often used to plot data such as perception of products or brand. So what is the perception? What is the perception about a particular product or a brand? So this will display both the number and the nature of the data set. In order, it is easy to interpret in a visualizing way. So if it is given in a diagram, it is more easy to understand. So the researcher also can be able to portray the interpretation, what is happening, what is the nature of the problem, and what is the perception of that particular brand or a product. And easily a person can also see by viewing the representation in a visual way. It is easy for them to understand. So this being said, as any kind of data with meaningful similarities or the distances can be displayed using the multidimensional scaling. So here classical multidimensional scaling portrays similarities and dissimilarities between the pairs of items on a coordinate matrix. So this is the dimension. This is how it has been diagrammatic representation of a chocolate bar categories which I have chosen. So multiple dimension scaling maps will be like that. So how much it is more. So these are some of the attributes. So these are some of the names of that, and some of the attributes like Nestle, Musketeers, Butterfinger, Good Bar, Kit Kat and all. So how much it is more nutty and how much it is more crunchy. What is the chocolate which is more dominated? So this is how a multidimensional scaling maps can be done. So this is one of the best analysis. So this is the last topic in the unit. So SPSS. So SPSS, what is meant by SPSS? So SPSS is the statistical package for social sciences. So that is in short is known as SPSS. It is one of the most popular and statistical packages which we are using in a daily way, and which we are using highly for the research people, researchers and scholars. So it is one of the popular packages used to perform highly complex data manipulation and analysis with simple instruction. If it is given with a limited number of respondents, say 50 or thing, you can do it by manually. But if it is more than 500 or 1000, so by using the SPSS, we can interpret the data effectively. So in SPSS, there are two things: variable and data. So variable is the name of the field in the data set. I'll show it in the diagram in the next one. And the data is the given value to the field. So the value of a field is defined as a data. So by measuring the variables, it can be of ordinal, scale, nominal. Okay. So ordinal or nominal. So ordinal, region, zip code or religious affiliations can be given. Nominal is the level of satisfaction from highly satisfied to satisfied, neither satisfied to dissatisfied, highly dissatisfied and highly satisfied. So this is how we can range like 5-point scale. Then these are the scales: age in years and in income in thousands of dollars. So this is the opening of SPSS. So where you can see two type of views, that is the two sheets were available in that window when you open this SPSS. So this is the SPSS window. Once you open the SPSS data editor, you find the default thing, two sheets like data view and variable view. So this is what I am mentioning here is the data view and the variable view. You can click it here, data view and variable view here. So this is the sample of that. So this is the sample where they have given the name string or with decimals, name type with decimals, and label, what is the label of that and the values of that. And here they have given the value labels. If you click 1 and label you get male, then if you click add, you get 1 is equal to male. And again value 2 and label female, if you click add, then it is be denoted as 2 females. And also you can make it as 3 like transgenders and okay. So this is how a SPSS data viewer look. So thank you for listening the video.